How's it going, everybody? It's Young here, and welcome to Day 60 of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Every day from now on at 12 AM Eastern Standard Time, I'll be releasing a video detailing an important moment in the development history of the highly anticipated title, all the way until the game launches. With this being the first video in the series, let's talk about when the game was first announced over a decade ago. Let's turn back time all the way to May 8th, 2006. E3 2006 was looming on the horizon, but prior to the event, Square Enix decided to host a pre-show press conference at the Los Angeles Palladium. It was during this event that the company not only announced Final Fantasy XIII for the first time, but also a second game called Final Fantasy Versus XIII. According to website IGN's article released on that day detailing the latter's announcement, Versus XIII was being created by the same team responsible for Kingdom Hearts 2 and was set to be an extreme action game that serves as a direct sequel to Final Fantasy XIII to appear on the PlayStation 3. Alongside the game's unveiling, a teaser trailer was shown to attendees, which according to IGN was created by the same team that put together Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, adding that the Advent Children team will also be doing Versus XIII's in-game cutscenes. Unfortunately, at the time, the teaser trailer was not released to the general public. However, details regarding the teaser and more general details about Versus XIII would emerge on the same day through another article. IGN began by sharing that Square Enix actually revealed 3 Final Fantasy XIII games, 13 for PS3, Versus XIII also for PS3, and Agito 13 for cell phones. The trio were to comprise a new compilation series known as the Fabula Nova Chrysalis, which is Latin for the New Tale of the Crystal. The games in this series were to share the same mythology, run in parallel, and have intersecting plots. It was also confirmed that Tetsuya Nomura would be the character designer for the entire Fabula Nova Chrysalis series, and that he would be the director for Final Fantasy Versus XIII. Then, after reiterating that the game would be spearheaded by the Kingdom Hearts 2 and Advent Children teams, adding that Nomura told journalists to imagine what the two teams could create when working together, the article also talked about some information that he shared about the game's story and themes. According to Nomura, Versus would feature a modern environment, as well as emotional, realistic characters and a storyline that has bonding as the underlying theme. IGN's article finally concluded with a description of the yet not public Versus XIII teaser trailer, stating the following. The entirely CG trailer for Final Fantasy Versus XIII began with a statement describing an isolated nation protected by kings, which apparently is the last country in the world trying to protect itself from invading heretics. The camera slowly zoomed in on a man sitting, or perhaps slumping, on a throne, apparently dejected about events around him. Suddenly, the man stands up and, walking outside of his throne room, opens the door to what appears to be a large courtyard outside filled with armed soldiers. Bodies are strewn about the stairs. It doesn't look like the odds are good for the nameless character as he walks out of his building. Every soldier in attendance turns and trains their guns on the man while he walks down the steps. However, as they open fire, every single bullet misses its mark. The camera pans up to show that the powerful figure is protected by some kind of energy shield that deflects any incoming projectiles. Suddenly, the man raises his hand and a number of swords materialized out of thin air, which quickly begin to spin around him. Just as it seems like the figure will release the weapons towards his opponents, the trailer flashes the Versus XIII logo and ends. The character's name wasn't revealed to journalists. So for the general public, that right there was the very first teaser and glimpse of Final Fantasy Versus XIII, which we now know as Final Fantasy XV. Alongside this description of the trailer, IGN's article also attached 2 screenshots of Versus XIII, one showing a close-up of the mysterious protagonist and another showing a wider shot hinting at some of his abilities and those spinning swords and whatnot. But it would be months before the general public would get to see the full trailer in action. Another media outlet that covered Square Enix's pre-E3 2006 event was GameSpot, which also released an article detailing what they learned about the latest Final Fantasy announcements on May 9th, 2006. Most of the information they shared matches up with what IGN's article said, but they also offered a couple of new insights. According to GameSpot, in addition to announcing 3 games for the Fabula Nova Chrysalis series, Square Enix apparently promised additional projects beyond the 3 games, adding that given their commitment to polymorphic content, those additional projects will be in non-game media like film. GameSpot finally added how Square Enix emphasized the word versus in the title, which is Latin for to change direction, indicating that the game will be a different approach from Final Fantasy XIII. And the rest is all information covered by IGN's article. It's really interesting to see just how much has changed over the last 10 years. The whole Fabula Nova Chrysalis series concept didn't quite pan out the way they intended. The game went from extreme action to a mix of action and RPG. Staff members have been rearranged significantly, most notable of all being Tetsuya Nomura, who left his position as director and was replaced by Hajime Tabata. And the overall look and feel of the game and its characters have changed dramatically. A few things did stay the same though. The game still features modern environments and aims to deliver more emotional, realistic characters, as well as a storyline with bonding as its underlying theme. Furthermore, the emphasis on the word versus, which means to change direction in Latin, still holds true today if you think about it, as Final Fantasy XV undoubtedly marks a new direction for the series with its more open-world structure, a more action-focused combat system, and things like a party that's established from the very beginning of the game with characters that already know each other. Also, GameSpot's statement regarding Square Enix diving into other mediums for the Fabula Nova Chrysalis series wasn't entirely untrue when you consider work like Final Fantasy XV Kingsglaive and Brotherhood, a movie and an anime miniseries respectively. But overall, there is no denying that the Final Fantasy XV we see now, releasing on November 29th, 2016, has evolved quite a bit since the announcement of Versus 13 on May 8th, 2006. So with this countdown retrospective, my hope is to shed some light on that evolution and follow the game's development timeline all the way until the game eventually launches, so I hope you will embark on this journey with me. But for now, this is where I'll be concluding Day 60 of Final Fantasy XV's Countdown Retrospective. Thank you for tuning in. Look forward to Day 59 tomorrow, October 1st at 12 AM Eastern Standard Time. And to be further updated on all things Final Fantasy, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!